It's time to check the mics. I don't have my headphones right now,
There we go.
but we'll find out.
Oh, I have a pair of headphones in my pocket. If
You know what? Just keep it on that for a second.
Alright.
We'll just go by people in the comments, and we'll do it like we did it last time. Check my mic first. Check.
Oh, well, yeah. You can just turn it down. Yeah. All right. So one guy says you both sound great. So
All right.
Great.
Checking my mic. How am I sounding? We're checking my microphone right now. Checking my mic. Mr. Regular's mic. How am I sounding?
Good.
One guy says both good.
And then,
Great. How am I good? Is my mic okay? Good? Good. No peeking. Pa 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 poo 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 poo.
Yeah, there you go.
Like less formal you. I don't know what that means. All right, I'm fine. All right.
All right.
How's Nick?
How am I doing? Is this all right? Can I just sort of lean back here? Well, not lean back, but not lean forward. Is this going to be sounding all right? Just let me know how I sound. You know, and hopefully, yeah. Muy fantastico. Hey. Thank you, Matthew Bailey. Huh, it's strange. I'm going to an open mic tonight hosted by Matt Bailey. Good friend, good man. Maybe it's a running thing that all people named Matt Bailey are decent people. But, okay, so it seems like we're good. So, I guess pause for room tone.
Yep. Pausing for room tone. Here we go.
Welcome, everyone, to RCR podcast number 28. I am Nick.
I'm Brian.
And we are here to talk about basically whatever. I had a pretty weird and ridiculous weekend. What were you up to this weekend?
This weekend was a lot of ferrying through hikers around, which I enjoy. Gosh, what else did I do this weekend?
I was in upstate New Jersey. How's the weather here?
It was great.
All right.
Today is the first rainy day we've had in a while.
Well, because
the weather has been amazing.
We were getting bathed all last week, and then I go to New Jersey, and we were over. Eventually, we ended up at Asbury Park, and along the boardwalk and all that other stuff there, and it was just sort of okay. So here's the story. Basically, I went to my cousin's wedding, and the reason the title is The Wedding Snap is because I've been basically sexting with this person on Snapchat for a while, and it's someone that like I met on OkCupid, and we talk a lot and all this other stuff. She's a really cool person, and anyway, she will send me like random provocative stuff, but most times it will be completely innocuous things like pictures of her cat or pictures of whatever awesome meal she's making for dinner. And so it ends up being a strange thing where I see the little, Snapchat ghost. That's the notification that you have a snap. And so I'm sitting there at the wedding, and, when you go to a wedding, they do that long mass at the beginning, and it's just kind of like
Catholic or Protestant mass?
Protestant, as far as I know, or maybe it was Catholic. See, I don't know religion.
Did you take communion or not?
They did.
Okay.
Or well, I mean, they took something. It was strange. Also, I wasn't really.
Did you kneel?
No, I didn't kneel.
I mean, was there kneeling? Were there little kneelers in the pews?
There were kneelers in the pews. Yeah.
That was okay. It's a Catholic church.
All right, cool. But basically, and it was a beautiful wedding. I mean, and it was pretty short. So I didn't even really have the right to complain about it being long. I was just kind of anticipating being bored. So what ends up happening is that I get the Snap notification, and she's like, "Oh, so how's the wedding going?" I'm like, "Oh, well, I'm sitting here. We're going through the mass and all this other stuff." And a few minutes later, I get another one of those notifications, and it's just like complete, just like full frontal. And I'm like, whoa, Jesus! Like I'm in God's house, and I'm surrounded by family. Luckily, no one saw it, but I'm just like, what are you doing? And she's just like, well, I'm evil. And I'm just kind of...
That is some hard-ass flirting.
Unless
she's a super free spirit.
No, well, she is that. But, I mean, it's just something that happens. And apparently, like, this isn't the only person that it happens with, because apparently Snapchat is where it goes down. Like, even when... I have platonic friends who nothing is happening with. And they'll send me, like, hot stuff on Snapchat, not in like a flirting way of like, how do I look in this lingerie, or how do I look in this bikini, like that type of thing. And and they feel comfortable doing it because they know that it disappears. Like you can't save it, well, unless you screenshot it, and then if you screenshot it, they get a notification that you screenshot it.
Really?
So basically it's one of those things of you're saving it for the spank bank,
right?
But it was a strange thing. I go there to the reception, which is fantastic, like one of the best wedding receptions I've ever been to, and it was one of those things where you can't... This is the problem with like a Puerto Rican wedding, of if you go there, you can't really go there with the mind that you're going to hook up with anybody, because there's a 1 in 5 chance that you're related to them. It's a strange thing through some weird thing. Now, yeah, there's the grooms. Basically, my cousin getting married was the bride. Now the groom's family, it's different thing, different gene pool, basically. So, but even I just didn't really venture over to that thing, because I treat the dance floor sort of like Los Angeles, where like it's a nice place to visit, but like if you want to live there, you can live there.
Yeah.
And there are other people just living on the dance floor.
Yeah.
Like, and they weren't doing anything that I could swing dance to, and so it's kind of like that's the only dancing I can really do. Snapchat screenshot tip: turn on airplane mode, load the snap, image cap it, log out, airplane mode back on. That's so much work.
Oh, we have a super chat coming in from David Tomset. You're one lucky man, Nick.
Thank you. Yeah, especially it's weird in that I'm terrible at flirting myself, and so, but I'm an incorrigible flirt anyway. Like I flirt with everybody, and so it's kind of a thing where at some point you're going to, it's like a blind squirrel finds a nut. No pun intended. Every now and then, and yeah, but that, and she doesn't watch this, so well, that's the thing of like everybody that I meet who knows that like what my actual job is, none of them care. Absolutely none of that. None of my regular friends who I see at the open mics, or who I know from other places. And even some family members, they literally don't care.
Super chat coming in from Jacob, the Jacob Sapiro. Thank you so much, man. Here's $5 toward the Make the Stand Man a recurring character fun. Love the demon review. We were just talking about this before we went live here, that people are already commenting that they want more Stan the Man reacts videos, and that completely goes against the whole point of that skit. Yeah. Burgundy Burnouts, I'll see you. I'll get to you in just a sec. He's meant to be the very worst part about watching YouTube videos. Yeah. It's what you're supposed to hate. Did we do such a good job at being the worst YouTuber for like 40 seconds that you want to see more of that? And honestly, after you said that, I'm in there getting my coffee, getting my getting another Fiber One bar. I already had one, had two. I'm about to have two, and that's why this is called Who Poop Last. I could do another Stan the Man Reacts, but I would have to escalate it to a crazy degree. I would have to shout out to good friend Officer Dave from the Baltimore Police Department. Dave, I'd have to do that Stan the Man Reacts again. I'd have to like be in a precinct holding cell, like drawing, talking, you know how YouTubers try to monetize everything about their life? Like somehow he's in a jail cell, and like is still trying to do his show.
Hey guys, coming to you from the jail cell.
Like he's grabbing the officer's camera, trying to load his YouTube channel while doing this. Quick, I gotta go to Burgundy Burnouts before his thing expires. Burgundy Burnout says, when you describe the Dodge Demon as a boss like boss monster, you're not supposed to be able to beat early on in the game. It reminds me of some Baphomet, Final Fantasy 3. Yeah. And also like the weapons in Final Fantasy 7. Yeah, it's crazy, stupid nuts. You're supposed to get destroyed by this thing.
Yeah, it's like Emerald Weapon. I never even bothered.
Is that the one where you're underwater?
You're underwater. There's Emerald Weapon and Ruby Weapon, and just they can both go to hell. But it's, and the Stan the Man thing, it's almost like, you know, you would have to be, you know, the one image is just like you with the taser parts in you, and then you're in a jail cell or something.
I would have to be getting tased in real life.
Yeah. It's just I remember we were at the Trogs Brewery when we wrote that part, the Stan the Man thing,
and we were sitting with Street Speed 717.
Yeah, good guy.
There's going to be a collaboration between us and him coming up next month.
And the strange part about it was, in my head when we were writing it, I never thought that there would be like a visual component to it. I just figured, oh, you'll do a voice for it. And then you're like, hey, dude, let's film these, you know, little still shots and everything. And so it's just, you know, Brian in a trash can, snap, move over a little bit, snap, or hat here, hat here, hat here, hat here.
Yeah.
And it's just this thing that seeing it all come together, it's always cool. But I was just surprised by how many people in the comments were like, you know, Stan the Man should be a recurring character. And the thing about it is that, like, if he becomes recurring, we become that channel.
Yeah. Super chat from Wyatt Hotchkiss. And don't worry, we'll answer the regular chats too. We're not just paying attention to super chats, but wholeheartedly, I thank you for doing this. The money you give to super chat adds to our traveling budget. And speaking of traveling, Wyatt asked, have you ever thought of doing a meetup in Delaware or another meetup in PA? I was in Delaware. I have a friend who she lived there for a little bit. The big question is, in Delaware, where is there a big enough space to have a car meet? I mean, you got Dover, but that's kind of a cramped city. I don't know what you are doing, but I am going to be at the Greater Philadelphia Expo Center next month. I am going to too many games.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be around that weekend. Okay. So nothing to stop me from going.
We're gonna meet up with, and that's kind of close to Delaware, Greater Philadelphia Oaks area. But to answer your question, Wyatt, another meetup in PA. I think we should have another RCR car meet, probably at the Racquetball Club. My summer's starting to fill up the weekends. I'm thinking like the end of summer, like Labor Day.
Yeah, kind of like, well, last year's car meet was towards the end of August. Like the one that we did where, you know, there was a dog and a lot of Porsches and that one van that had like an NES in it.
Oh yeah, those were the guys from Screenwave Media who came out. We're gonna see them at Too Many Games.
Oh, very nice.
Okay. Asuma Possum says, thank you, Asuma Possum, for $5. When did hubcaps start playing tunes? I love the simple idea of a hero theme for any given car. I hope that concept goes more in reviews. Oh yeah, like every car can have a theme. You can think of ideas for what a car would play if you I forget the first video we did. Was it the Celica? Celica?
So which one? The one that had the line about how if you put a phonograph needle on a hubcap, it'll play.
Yeah.
Oh, I forget.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I hope we answered the one super chat question that got knocked off the screen there. Gaming Shark 84 says, I work at Nathan's Famous Hot Dogs. Love Nathan's. but I noticed the company is not so relevant like the old days. Nathan's is good. Hebrew National is better.
Hebrew National is superb.
Yeah.
But what you get with Nathan's is a longer hot dog that has a crunch to it because it still has the casing. But Hebrew National, it's a more flavorful hot dog. And I'm not a hot dog person because it feels like, I don't know, it does things to my body. But yeah. There was a question of someone asking what constitutes a Wingadinga car in the chat that scrolled by.
Okay, here's what a Wingadinga car is. A car that only comes out for car shows. A car owned by a mansplaining male. Typically 1954 to 72, right before the muscle car crash and the Arab oil embargo. It has to be clean. It has to be too clean. Here's my toy car is always a bonus. Period stuff in it. And also the owner does not go around and look at any other cars at the car show. He sits in a lawn chair by his car and waits for you to toss him compliments like a beggar asking for change. Wingadinga car, the guy likes his 50s music. That's it. He likes Cheeseburger in Paradise. He likes all that sort of stuff. Oh,
that's a good poll. Cheeseburger in Paradise.
Technically, the Vagabond Falcon is a Wingadinga car because it's a 1960s car with a mild cam. It doesn't race. It's just for cruising. But I think because I abuse that thing and drive that in all kinds of weather, although I'm trying to stop doing that and use it as a regular car, it's Wingadinga, but on the outskirts. Before it goes away, William Knight, thank you for $10, William. Got a real question coming from a standard bike to a cruiser. Okay. Which cruiser should I look at? I have an Indian Pale Ale on me. Thanks for the laughs. Oh, thank you. Hey, drinking it drinking in the daytime. I can dig that.
Nice.
My first question would be displacement. What is it coming from? And I'll try to see if you post another thing in the regular comments to see what you're going from a standard bike to a cruiser. Which cruiser should I look at? Okay, what do you want the bike to do? I mean, if no one, as far as motorcycles go, if no one gives me a criteria, I'm going to go to a Honda Shadow 800, Honda Shadow 1100, that sort of thing. They're excellent cruisers. Often you get shaft drives. They're for a bike. There's still going to be maintenance, but they're relatively maintenance free. Someone is asking in the regular comments, when does the brand shirt go on sale? I think I should do that. I think I should make a tank top that just says brand on it. So, we'll keep an eye out for more things from William Knight. If there is, Kawasaki Vulcans are good too. Honestly, I'd steer away from Victory. Quick question from Hugo Gods. Will you be coming to PVGP this year? Thank you for the $2. Can someone clarify what is PGVP? David Buey, what's your question, David? Or did you just give us $20? Is there a thing here?
I'm looking up older.
Well, thank you, David, for giving me $20. I mean, I don't have any questions, but
I'm looking.
Thank you so much.
In the regular.
JD
chats.
says my 2000 Maxima hubcaps play old MaxiPad commercials.
This person says, did you see that Consumer Reports probably won't recommend the Model 3?
Yes. We have an offer for a Model 3 in North Carolina.
Yeah.
I don't know how long that guy's holding on to that car, but I'm not opposed to, a little trip down to Raleigh. Not sure if I'd drive or I'd get a puddle jumper from MDT. Harrisburg to go down there. I mean, that certainly would be a money-making video, right? Not to think in business terms, but I want to drive one. I want to honestly run my fingers over a Model 3 and see what the big complaint is about.
Oh, and William Knight had an FZ6 600cc.
Oh, so you're coming off a sport bike. So if you get on a Honda Shadow, that thing's going to feel dog slow. All right, so a standard, yeah, Yamaha VMAX. That's still a standard, not a cruiser. You know what? This is going to sound weird, man, but honestly, give a Harley-Davidson Fat Boy a try. Give it a try. They'll certainly let you test ride it. Harley's hurting right now, and if you feel like throwing money, I enjoyed that. Harley Fat Boy's a fun bike. It's a big bike, but just give it a try. Give it a test drive. You may like it.
This person asked, or Sebastian Guevara Najera, fun, reliable first car, thinking about a Subaru or a Civic.
Civic. First car, Civic EH2. I always come back to that thing. Civic EH2, the basest Civic you can find with a manual box in it. It's going to be so much fun. Preferably stock. You're going to want that old lady car, early 90s Civic. Trust me.
Yeah.
You're going to love it. Burgundy Burnouts, thanks again, man. You're balling with us. Thank you for the $10. We're going to have to ask you to please stop in a few minutes giving us cash as much as you're willing to do that so we can continue with our stories and I can get my Brown challenge going. Burgundy Burnout says, I watched the Dodge Demon video at work when you did the back in the United States of I busted out laughing and had the whole office staring at me. Keep up the good work. See you guys at RCR Nashville. Yeah, Nashville, again, is contingent on the Falcon being repaired and having it be good for travel. As of yet now, with this this mild weather, I've had no cooling issues at all. Right now, the Falcon's making a weird noise coming from the rear end under hard braking, like it's rhythmic and it speeds up and slows down, based on how fast you're going when you slam on the brakes. Not slam on the brakes, but like a really hard brake. Probably something with the caliper. I don't know. I don't care. It's in August. It'll go in for Bruce's for its annual Fix Me. That's going to be a big bill. Anyway. Gaming Shark 84, thank you for the super chat. Gaming Shark 84 says, I noticed no one made a review of a Hyundai Tiburon GT, or a Hyundai Tiburon Get. Guess it means GT. But my question is, what are your thoughts on the 03 GT manual V6? I think it's a fine car, and it's definitely a way cheaper option than someone who wants a fresh BRZ. Honestly, it may be just as fast or faster. All right. Nathaniel York says, love you guys. Thank you for the $5. When will you be here in New Jersey for Cars and Coffee? Thanks for the cash, man. I don't know when. We have no New Jersey plans yet.
Yeah. I mean, I'm in New Jersey almost every other weekend just to see my niece and nephew. I mean, if I weren't visiting a friend in Richmond this weekend, I would probably be back there again because it's my niece's birthday, but I'm sending a gift over there with my mother who's going to visit. That's another weird story. Where did the intern go? It's like a running gag at this point.
Yeah.
Or we just need to print a shirt with like a vague cartoon face that it's a milk carton and it says RCR intern missing.
I don't understand this. Natanya York, Natanya, and I'm a girl, but thank you nonetheless. Maybe the people are.
Oh, Natalia. Oh, because you said Nathaniel.
Oh, Nathaniel. Sorry, Natalia.
Yeah, Natalia.
Speaking of nuts, I'm not going to get into this. Christopher Conrad, thank you for the $5, Christopher. I have too many questions, so I'll just say thanks for the videos. Hey, man, thanks for watching. Thanks for giving us a job.
And we will get to super chat questions.
Yeah. Abbreviator Review says still need to get that end table for Nick's crotch tea. We were just talking about that before. We need like a box or something just to sit here.
I don't know what people expect is going to happen though. Like it's tea that's sitting here at my balls, and it's not particular. Like the Dunkin' Donuts, their cups are incredibly well insulated, so I don't feel any of the heat.
There was a $10 question. Did
around
I let
my
it
meat
go away? Oh no.
I could probably scroll up and find it.
Yeah, scroll up and find a yellow one.
Let's see. It was yellow. Yeah. Are you coming with my dad and I on July 14th for the fire truck event in Harrisburg?
Fire fucking truck. Yes, I want to come to that. I want to ride my motorcycle out. Maybe they'll let me park my bike by your truck so I don't have to freaking park in Harrisburg. When is that?
July 14th, it says.
When is that?
But also, let's see.
Scheduling. Doing this right now. And I got these $5 questions that I can't let go away. Was that the $10 one? Was the fire truck? Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Now $5 one. Still need to get that end table. Got that gigantic $50 one. How much time do I have left of the $5 one right next to it? David Buey says, "Here's some beer money or a rain poncho, fellas. Thank you. I've been meaning to spend some of this. Actually, we'll spend it when it comes in for next month's thing. Thank you, David Buey, for the beer money. So let's get this firework thing. What 14th?
Yeah, July 14th.
So that's a Thursday. Oh, that's June. Never mind.
Oh, yeah.
July 14th. Nothing on that day.
Just
freaking got it. I'll have to write it with a pencil. So I wasn't thinking. Fire truck thing. Harrisburg ride bike. All right. That's how you get me to do anything. Get me to put it on the calendar, and then it goes down. It's on the calendar. I hope it doesn't rain.
Yeah.
Let's get this $50 question. Thank you for $50, man. Mazda, you've been kind to the RX and Miatas, but sort of trashed the Mazda 6. And always sort of throw out Mazda 3 as some kind of boring every car. To me, a Mazda 3 is a cheap Fiesta, as a kind of boring every car. Did non-sports Mazda do something wrong, or are they the milquetoast cars, or are their milquetoast cars not your thing? My deal with Mazda is, apart from, their nice sports cars, growing up in the 90s, we had like the crappy Protege and the 626. Some people really like those things. But growing up, those were the Japanese cars that you didn't want. The Protege, people in college and high school, they were blowing gaskets, they were leaking oil. They weren't very good hand-me-down cars. Subarus tended to stay together. Hondas and Toyotas, of course, were always solid. But you got someone with a Mazda 6 in band camp, that thing's a rattling piece of crap. They've gotten better. And one of the cars, Apollonius, is that I'm looking at to maybe replace Goldie as a camera car, because Goldie's throwing that evap code, and we learned it's pretty rusty. I mean, I have nice tires on it. I'm going to run those tires right down before I get rid of the car, and that may be a year or so. But the Mazda 6 GT wagon in a stick shift, that comes with the Ford, what is it? The Ford V6, Ford Duratec V6. Ford Duratec, double cam V6, manual transmission, station wagon. That thing's going to be neat, but they are hard to find, aren't they?
All right.
Was there some $5 ones that I ignored?
No. I just have a regular question. Josh Newton asks, where's the best place to find an unmodified mid-90s Civic?
Bring a trailer. I mean, you're going to pay for it. You're going to find them. Or go to find whatever message boards exist. There are message boards specifically for Civics, and sometimes specific to your particular generation. There, if you find forum members, you may find very well-kept examples. Gonna pay a little bit, but it's going to be worth it. And that's one of the places I'm looking at if I choose to stay with a Subaru Forester, to go on the Forester message boards and buy a Forester XT from like San Diego, one with no rust on it. The trick is, I don't want one that's slammed on WRX springs. I want one stock ride height, because the roads around here, you're steep inclines and hopping curbs and stuff. There's a 500 yen question.
There's a bit of change for Suntory Hibiki. They are stopped selling them, so grab it while you can. But yeah, that's whiskey, right?
I think so.
For relaxing times, make it Suntory time.
All right, now it's time for Who Pooped Last. I had one fiber, one bar. We're gonna now. This is another 9 grams of fiber.
What a delicious product they make.
I wonder what would happen if Fiber One were to sponsor a Lemons rally car.
But yeah.
Speaking of sponsors, as I talk with my mouth full, we got a email from someone from On It. You know, the one for Rogan's podcast, the ONNIT. He's a fan of the show. So someone working at On It is a fan of RCR. One of the things I see in the automotive world is Will, I see your thank you for the super chat, Will. I just want to finish this story quick. I see people making food choices of convenience as a result of the culture of gearheads. We work on cars for a long time, lose track of time because we're on a roll, and we don't eat. And when it comes time to get food, you're usually tired. It's the end of the day. Fuck it. I'm going to order a pizza. But then that happens sometimes two times a week. Or we're going on long road trips, as is our want. And then it becomes drive-through food, Dunkin' Donuts, stuff like that, which is fine for a treat. But those snack trips, when you're trying to make time, you just get the drive-through, go right through. Man, I see a lot of bellies that I really shouldn't be seeing for people who are active as they are in cars. And I think you should spend a little extra money and, have healthier snacks and choices. And honestly, you can have a protein shake and substitute it for a meal. It's going to be you're going to get more out of that than you're going to get from a dollar menu at Wendy's.
That's what I did this morning. Mostly because I love food, but I hate the process of eating. Because there's a million other things I'd rather be doing when I get up. I would rather just get on with my day. So, make a protein smoothie, get that. You're full until lunch, and you're not sitting there, like an asshole, oh, okay, I gotta eat this salad, or
right.
Oh, I gotta make this thing.
Yeah.
You make it the night before, throw it in the fridge, and then the next morning you wake up, open the fridge, boom, I'm out of here. Because there was crazy traffic on the way here, so that's why, this started later than 1. But I guess it gave more people the opportunity to show up, so hey, no complaints.
Burgundy Burnouts. I'm not complaining. If you want to do more, Ferris said, don't get in your own way when it comes to making money. Last one, my O2 Firebird hubcaps just played the guitar riffs from Subdivisions by Rush. I forgot about that album. Rush. I used to have that on my old Dell laptop. I had all this Rush stuff, and then I sort of fell out of Rush. Subdivisions.
This person asks, Zephyr Silver, is Goldwing a good choice to delve into the world of touring bikes?
Well, you're jumping right in the deep end, but the thing is, it's a big deep end, and there's lots of different Goldwings. If you want to start with Goldwings, get one from the 80s. Holy shit. You'll never find more motorcycle for your money than an 80s Goldwing. You'll be able to find one for like $1,500, $2,000, and you get a Goldwing aspartame. And it's it's like Yacht Rock, the bike. It has like Christmas lights on it, so many running lights. Sorry for my mouthful. They're so cool. You get your drink holder. Some of them have tape decks in them. They're great. Honestly, yeah. You want to get a big touring bike, get yourself an 80s Goldwing. And they were all owned by, older men who took care of them. And you get this bike that'll just blast 100 miles an hour with no problems. They're freaking sweet. 80s Goldwing. Can't go wrong.
This person asked Nick, or us, what's the writing process for an episode like? It always fascinated me and makes me wonder the amount of creativity each time. And the writing process, I think, is different now than it was when the show started, in the sense that, okay, like our process grew out of when we did the car show at Kutztown, like the KUR Kutztown, and the original car radio show that we used to do was just us opening up an auto trader and ripping on cars, or talking about, and I still have one of the shows saved, and like with KUR's permission and non-monetized, like I would love to publish that on like our SoundCloud or something of just for old time's sake, especially now that like our names are out there, so that, because I'm like, hey, Brian, blah, 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 or you're like, hey, Nick, blah, blah, blah. And it's just us, sort of telling car related stories about, that weird guy who hit you up for change on this, or not instead of asking for money, he asked you to fill his gas tank because they had to get to a hospital.
Oh, that story.
But it was just so weird in that, the direction that it was a very inconsistent story. But if they were trying to screw you, they would ask for money, not for you to just give them like $10 of gas.
Right.
So it was just a strange thing, but like that type of thing. And so the process, it would start from just a cafe version of that, of we're sitting around in a cafe. This is the car we're doing, blah, 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 boom.
Yeah.
But now it's kind of a separated thing. And sometimes for our writing days, we come together and show what we have so far. And then we sort of refine that. That's basically what like the Stan the Man thing was, of like, I wrote part of that and then give it to you, and it sort of gets refined. And it's, you're making something that you're not going to know how it turns out. Like a certain bits that it work in my head. Yeah. I don't know that they turn out that way until, it's done. But,
and a big thing is when you write, then reading the stuff you've written to another person, you'll instantly start making changes and improving it because it sounds different. There's reading it aloud to yourself, and that helps. But then when you get another person to bounce the ideas off of, it gets even better. Yeah. Will Robertson says, "Thank you, Will, for the $10. Would you rather? I like would you rather questions. Would you rather go on an RCR trip to Seattle or Vancouver, British Columbia? They are both really beautiful cities with lots of twisty mountain and coastal roads. Also, the summer weather is really sunny. So I got a choice between Seattle or Vancouver. Whichever city has the better venue and is friendlier to cars. It's going to be the same flight cost because they're pretty close to each other. I'm
kind of on team Vancouver.
Yeah. I'd take. We still have yet to do Seattle.
Yeah. I just get this strange feeling that Seattle's going to be a lot like Portland, which was fine. Like, there's nothing wrong. Like, I liked Portland, Oregon. Don't get me wrong. Except that, like, the bicyclists think they have the run of the place. But it's the idea that Seattle is this place that, I don't know. It's kind of like the American version of. It's what Americans think of London, of a place that always rains all the time. Yeah. That's persistently dreary in a glum sort of way.
Yeah. Although Tom Clark says he likes it. He enjoys overcast days. I don't understand it.
I kind of do too. Don't get me wrong. Like, I love sunshine and vastly prefer it, but there's something about an overcast day and the rain and all this other, whatnot, that just sort of I don't know, like, you kind of need it because it engenders this feeling of I should be doing something. On these types of days, like, I want to write. On sunny days, I want to be outside, or, rainy days, I want to be in the gym. Sunny days, I want to be, I want to see people. Yeah. It's just a strange dichotomy between what you should be doing and what you, feel like doing.
Mm-hmm. I get a lot of calls from question from Luke Leonard. Mr. Regular, is there any updates on RCR Chicago this summer? You guys should stay out by St. Charles because there are some really pretty roads and it's not crazy hectic like downtown. I know we're not going to stay downtown. I think I'm going to stay up near Schaumburg, if I'm pronouncing that right. I haven't chosen cars yet. And I have to confirm with Mike Steinberg about the proper times. It's probably going to be during the week instead of the weekend. Get a break on flight costs. And there is a beautiful piece of malaise that I want to film. We haven't locked down the dates yet. You know what? Now that I have my calendar in front of me.
Yeah.
Oh, when's the next week off? The next week off, the week off we get is a week off before the week when you get the week off.
Yeah.
So for us, the week off is going to be the week of June 11th, but that's not going to work because you're in Jersey that weekend.
Wait, June 11th?
That's what I have here. June 15th, 16th, and 17th. It says Nick Jersey.
Yeah, no.
Quinn, I see your super chat question. Thank you. I'll get to it in just a second. So,
Well, I mean, I'm going to be in Jersey for the Friday. Or no, the Sunday.
That's fine. We can do... yeah, July, the week of... I have a note here. The week of the 15th in July. Somewhere here.
Yeah, that's doable.
Oh, wait. Yeah, right, this. Right, because I don't have to get a video in. This is the week I do that.
It's like in between our like birthdays.
Yeah.
What was that sound? Oh, you have 12 minutes of battery on your laptop. Remember?
Oh, I didn't even plug my laptop in. Okay. Quinn Dixon. Oh, hey, Quinn. You didn't have to give me another $5, Quinn. Jesus Christ. Sorry. I'll send you an email with the details for pump primers on July 14th. You can park at the Farm Show complex where we'll meet at. Yeah, but I want to ride my motorcycle down on the grass. Yeah, probably. They wouldn't let me through the barricades. I'm with Quinn. Yeah, great, buddy. Get you and your brat bike out of here. Let me get the thing that makes the pixies go inside. The machine that tells people what I'm doing.
Oh, at the wedding, there was this old guy when I went to go check into the hotel who, the concierge did the whole spiel of, blah, 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 blah. There's no smoking in the room. And he's like, well, where am I supposed to smoke? It's like, well, you go out front to the side, but not in front of the entrance. There's a spot with it. But where am I supposed to smoke? It was just sort of repeating the where am I supposed to smoke. It's this strange thing. And you could already hear that he was kind of like at the end of his rope in terms of tolerance of this entire endeavor. And I just kind of found it weird in the sense that I'm like, dude, you're old, you're huffing, you probably shouldn't be smoking at all.
It's too late for me. That's a line that should go in one of the cars. It's too late for me. You can start that business. You always want, it's too late for me. Yeah. I'm 41. It's too late for me.
Mike Baraccia asks, any plan for non-cars, a boat, helicopter, bicycle, ATV, razor, scooter?
I want to do the real Neil's Honda Ruckus. He bought one. There's my motorcycle that we have yet to do. Maybe in the fall, do another airplane with... I've been hanging out with Tony Airlines, the airline pilot. I told him that if we get a plane in the area, like maybe they'd fly into Reading. I don't know if Reading has landing fees or not.
Good question.
That's the weird thing I didn't know about some airports. You got to pay to land there.
Yeah.
I mean, you land and then they hit you up.
Yeah.
One thing I noticed about this, even though there's no lag going on in the video that we see here, I noticed that when I went back, when there was a whole bunch of super chats coming in, it got laggy and it was almost consistent. I don't know if it's our connection or something else. All I have running on this laptop is Open Broadcaster and then a window to see the chat right there. So, yeah, Evan says, yeah, this stream went to shit for a while. I think his laptop was dying and killing the stream. I wonder if the laptop's getting hot.
Is it?
No, the laptop's not hot. I wonder if I'm going to have to lower the bit rate on this. I wonder if I can do it while I'm doing it. Settings.
Justin Crawford asks, is a Crown Vic Police Interceptor a good first car?
Yes, it is. It is a good first car. It's very cheap. Parts are super cheap because they made gazillions of those things. It'll do everything you need it to do except be good on gas. That's the one thing. I think I'm going to chew through gas. So get your friends to chip in. But yeah, Crown Victoria P71 Interceptor. Great. It may be a hard sell for your parents, but don't call it a used police car. Just call it a Ford sedan, a Ford four-door sedan. That's how you sell it on your parents.
Yeah.
Stream. Nope, that's not it.
Then,
general. No. Video. Your video output is currently active. Please turn off any output to change video settings. Okay. Base canvas resolution. I have 768 by 376. Downsize filter. Bilinear common. I may have to just lower the base frame rate. I have it at 24. Do I want it lower than that? Anyway.
Are there, this person, Jancy 1992, are there any uploads that, or are there any episodes that you have recorded, saved, but you never uploaded them? I mean, I almost didn't want to publish my winter diary just because I was wondering if it was too personal, and I figured, what's the reaction going to be? And like, is any of the people who are mentioned in it, even though I changed all their names, like, are they going to be upset? But I kind of like had to do that video for me, so I'm just like, screw it, here it is.
Luke says, are you guys uploading the full podcast after it ends? My connection went down the shitter as soon as you answered my question. Yes.
Yeah, it's going right
automatically up. It loads. There was something else. Any episode C's? I wonder what the no, the questions went off the screen again.
I have questions from the subreddit, which you can ask questions if you go to r/regular car reviews, which is our subreddit. And at the top, there is a thread for Ask RCR, which is for the podcast. So leave a question there. Hopefully we'll get to it here. And this one, okay, not a question. It's just more Dodge Demon video, straight fire. More Stan, please. This one, do people ever message you via social media to ask you out? You mentioned being single a lot, so I'm sure you must have some stalkers admirers out there.
No. No, that doesn't happen. Which fire truck is best fire truck? The one that puts out the fire, I suppose. The one that rescues you. I mean, what little I know about fire trucks is what Quinn taught me about his Han. No two of them are ever really alike. They're all made to the needs of the department. Josh Warso says, consider checking out Road America when you head to Chicago. People keep saying that. One of the best road tracks in the country. Love your work. I would like to go to Road America if there's someone there who knows us. I don't want to be the guy coming there and getting all up in everybody's problems and making extra work for other people because I don't know what I'm doing on a racetrack. It worked so well at Harris Hill because there were fans there and were able to take me by the hand and show me what to do and not be an idiot and introduce me because I'm kind of awkward when I'm around people who are better than me. And by better than me, I mean more skilled than me. BBI Productions says, if the laptop was running on battery, it could have caused the CPU to throttle down. Okay.
Yeah, that's probably it.
All right, that was probably it. I wonder if last time we were running on battery and, well, no. Last time it didn't click in and said it was running out of juice.
This question, on multiple occasions, both Mr. Regular and the Roman have mentioned being partial towards art students. Why is that, and how has it affected your standards after leaving academia?
You first.
Oh, well, basically, I almost ended up sort of becoming a human cliche of, that liberal arts major who ends up, falling for art students. And I think part of it is that they're complicated in a way that doesn't really allow for bullshit. They sort of call you on things a lot. And I think it's part of that challenge. I mean, well, it's also the problem that, for as much as I want things to remain casual, I kind of stay in this area where, like, if someone is important to me, then I guess I don't know, I mistake things for feelings and I end up screwing things up for myself. But those relationships with the art students were always sort of what you see is what you get, because I almost feel like they don't care that much, so it made me not care that much. And so that when it went south, I wasn't that upset about it. But because I'm not used to every relationship that I've had, when it ended, I was ready for it to be over, except for this one time. and then you go and you make I make like a friggin' video about it. So, but it's like you want everything to sort of be this mutual understanding about it. And I don't know if it's like the creativity of art students that makes me sort of feel like I'm being understood at a molecular level, but or the fact that they're always creating something too. It's always busy hands, but it's just something that I've always identified with art students, even though they're in it's a different kind of art. It's a different kind of creation, but it's still interesting to me. So, yeah.
Yeah. I'm with you with the whole, they're always creating. I can't draw. Art students can draw. I find that amazing. Yeah. Anything I'm attracted to aptitude rather than looks. If you can do something really well, that's arousing to me. and it also works in with the whole demisexuality thing. I'm not really interested in your body. I'm interested in your brain. Like, show me what the heck you can do in it's almost a Jordan Peterson kind of thing. Show me your worth.
Yeah.
Like when you're in your 20s, there's this really good Drew Carrie line where he was talking about women, and he said, well, she was pretty. I saw her naked. That's all it usually takes. And they're like, all right, I'm in love. Like, and for me, it was even simpler. It's like, oh, she's pretty and she's nice to me, and I'm looking for wedding rings. That's how. It was that.
Yeah.
If you guys made a real Lemons car, you could. Oh, I'm sorry, it scrolled away. See, I want a Lemons rally car.
If you guys made a real Lemons car, not a rally, a race car, or not for a rally, a race car, what would I have to do to have a seat as a driver? Well, that's Dieter. He's a friend of mine who actually has some experience doing this. Recently raced that Ninja Turtles Lemons van I was driving in Rochester. So, I mean, I have no idea, because it's kind of strange in the sense that I don't know. Like, again, that's a thing that, like, we personally don't necessarily have experience doing.
Yeah. I was on a racetrack only recently, and I just want to give BBI Production says, I could help more if I knew more about the setup beyond a laptop and OBS. I work for a company that makes streaming and coding gear. All right, my laptop is a Lenovo. What is this thing? My laptop is a Lenovo Z580. Let me type that in here. My laptop is a Lenovo V5. Oh, it's V570, V580. Okay. This laptop I had before I went to Alaska, so it's at least 5 years old. And it wasn't top of the line when I got it. It's like, I need a laptop. If Fiber One sponsors your car, would you install dual fart can mufflers?
It's one of those things where, I mean, I think the sponsorship, it's kind of a thing of, you kind of have to go out and get it yourself, but I have no idea how, other than to kind of, unless it becomes like this movement thing where people are like, hey, you should, they're adding the, tagging the brand on Twitter. But excuse me.
What were we talking about before? You were talking about the Snapchat story and that.
Yeah, and the wedding, and that was kind of a nice thing. I mean, I ended up co-babysitting my youngest nephew and my niece. In that I kept going upstairs because the reception was in the same hotel we were all staying in. Yeah. And so the littlest kids were, in the room with their big brother, and I kept going up to check on them. I ended up getting peed on, which was great.
Whoa, I had a dream about getting peed on last night. Should I tell that story?
Oh, yes.
Let me ask Burgundy Burnout. I told Len this story earlier today. Burgundy Burnout says, I need a second car in case my Firebird breaks while I'm modding it. I've been looking at an O2's WRX. A second car for what? A daily or a fun car? If so, WRX, fine. 97 Miata or an 03 Marauder. You know, there is like a little dealership up the road to me that has a Marauder on its lot. Mile per gallon doesn't matter. Well, hell, Marauder. My vote is Marauder. I mean, you can get WRXs all day, every day. Marauder, that's something special. That's something fun. Now the thing about a Marauder is, don't think it's going to drive any different than your average Crown Vic. It isn't. It's going to feel exactly the same. But it's just going to have more power. It feels like a Crown Vic. You're driving a Crown Vic. But it's got more power. So that's where it is. Anyway, okay, my getting peed on story. So I had one of those dreams last night where you find a girl and you're trying to find a... Do you ever have this? You find a girl and you're just trying to find a place to make out. And stuff keeps going wrong. No?
I mean, I'm sure I have.
Okay.
It sounds familiar. Kind of like the whole there's a class I haven't gone to all semester and it's finals dream.
Yeah, there's that.
And what ended up, and so wait, but how does that lead to you getting peed on?
Okay. Here's the dream. So I find this like alien girl, and we're talking like 1960s style Captain Kirk gonna bang an alien. She was kind of like a chameleon, and so we lay down on a beach. Now this is gonna be a dream, so it's gonna keep changing settings because it's a dream. So we lay down on a beach, and I'm hugging her, and it's crazy that I remember this. She does the move where she takes, like, this is like based on stuff that happens in real life. She takes your hand and puts it on her boob. Like that move that girls sometimes do.
Sometimes.
When they're 23 and they've been drinking 99 bananas. But then the beach started getting cold because it was night. So we get up and try to find some place indoors. We find this indescript building and walk through the door, and suddenly it's my high school. So we're trying to find a place to make out at Blue Mountain High School. And so we go to the boys' bathroom in the sophomore hall, and she says she has to pee. So she starts peeing, but she has a dick. And I said, "Can I see it?" And then she turns around and pees on me and starts laughing. And then at that moment, the door opens and a teacher starts coming in.
Yeah.
And I said, "Oh, the water pressure's really high again. It sprayed on me." And the teacher said, "Yeah, that happens." And then at that point, I guess the chameleon girl was fluid enough in her gender that she looked enough like a boy that the teacher didn't think of anything. And then we had to leave the bathroom and walk down the hall, but now it was dismissal, so we had to find a bus.
Huh. That's a really strange dream.
Yeah.
It sounds like the kind that like sticks with you for a while after you wake up.
Oh, clearly.
Well, yeah.
It's 3:30 p.m.
Yeah.
Lord
Machado.
Thank you for the $20. And keeping the Falcon fueled for a while with this stuff.
Yeah.
So you've mentioned Jordan Peterson. What type of car would he drive? And I don't think Jordan Peterson's a car guy. Not too many professors I've run into are car guys. Vogel a little bit. He wrote that story about...
He wrote a book about trains, didn't he?
Yeah. Or like the expansionist movement, or the Manifest Destiny thing. And there was a bit about the first person to drive across country in a car and what it meant, but it had really nothing to do with the mechanics of it.
Yeah.
Huh. So, anyway, your question. I mentioned Jordan Peterson. What type of car would he drive? I think if he's a professor and has other things on his mind, he'd drive like a Ford Fusion. He'd drive like a Chevy Spark. maybe a Prius. It's gonna be a dad mobile. Nissan Xterra, maybe. Oh, I don't know. I got my Ford Escape. Trying to think of a GM thing. I mean, he's got some cash, so it'll probably be nice. Maybe he'd get like a really spec'd up Subaru Legacy GT. It would be a car that blends in. He sounds like the type of person who has a lot of stuff on his mind, and he just wants a car that works. So would buy like a sedan. Anyway, what kind of car would he drive, and what's the thing you like about Peterson? I'm trying not to get oh boy, this got dark. I'm trying not to get divorced right now, and his stuff about relationship is helping me. Like, what do I like about Peterson? Well, it's just empirical. I think lately he's gone a little bit too deep in the camp, like anti-social justice warriors. Look, man, he's got to make his cash, and he found a rhythm that works. I don't agree with everything he thinks. He sometimes, maybe on TV, presents himself as more hard than he really is. The more I live online, the more I see that people have their game face and then their real face that you meet once the cameras are off. And to think that a human being is above that is disingenuous, or you're just being a fool. So I think he has his beats that he talks about on Talking Heads, and maybe his personal politics change. Some of his stuff makes sense. Some of the stuff he says maybe just to get a reaction. People got to make their money, and everybody has their own hustle.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. One guy wants to talk about the dream. Pernate19 says, about the dream. Were you just in the game, Mr. Regular? And sometimes when you're in the game, you got to dribble that ball a little. Nothing wrong with that. Oh, I thought he was about to say I was going to lose the game, because you got to think about the game sometime.
Yes.
Because you just lost it.
Other story. Okay, so my mother's 2002 show. Okay, so this past Friday was my mother's retirement dinner. So my brother and I, went with her, but we all went separately. So we just all met there. And anyway, as she does the dinner and the speech, and it's great. Because it's like a mass retirement dinner for all the people in the school district who are retiring that year. And it's a really lovely speech too. And it was the longest speech, even though every time we watch the Oscars together, we always get on people's case about, people who just talk forever, but it was very nice. But on the way out, I'm getting ready to leave, and her 2002 Chevy Malibu just bricked. It just won't turn on. So she has to call. I get a call back after I've left that is to the effect of, hey, can you come pick me up? Because they have to tow my car because I guess the fuel pump's broken or whatever. And there were other things wrong with it. But basically, we had to go to the wedding, and so she had no car, and my car isn't enough to accommodate everybody and all the crap that everyone was going to be taking with. And so she ends up getting a rental from the dealership that on $25 a day. That is
not too bad.
No, not at all. And it was a Chevy Impala, a late model. And I'm thinking, I'm kind of expecting that she's going to be weirded out because she's been driving that Malibu for so long that there's no way that she's going to really enjoy driving a different car. Although she likes driving mine, when we go on trips and I'm just like, hey, if for whatever reason your car is whatever, here's a spare, you can just drive my car or whatever. But apparently she loved that Impala. She was in love with it. It was such a strange... and
someone to make a face there. I mean, it's an Impala, whatever. It's a large sedan.
It's a sedan. But it's the little things, that it has its own sat nav, and that it's the own that it has satellite radio, and that it has. These are all things any mid-level car has these days. Yeah. But her thing is that she's literally been driving a 16-year-old car for 16 years. And so my mom is just it's almost strange to her, the idea. And the other cars that she's driven are all her children have, early to mid 2000s cars. So, I mean, like I drive a 2004, Mustang. So yeah. It's just, and my brother used to drive like a 2005 Pontiac Vibe,
right?
And so it was one of those things. She doesn't have experience with
what
all this
happened with
technology.
the Vibe, because that's not a bad.
Oh,
car.
that died. That died like a long time ago, and it was just it held on for until like 2012 ish. I mean, he didn't get it new, so it's not like it's a thing. But yeah, it's kind of so how you hanging in on the challenge?
I'm fine.
Yeah.
I must have some serious tolerance. I know it's gonna... Do I have any coffee left? I can supercharge it. And I can go have bidet. Yay. I got my pressure just right on my bidet. I can have... it's enough that if I turn it all the way up, it hurts a little bit. Actually, no. If I turn all the way up, it hurts too much.
Yeah.
So I gotta back it off. Although I use full blast when I change the angle on my bidet to shoot all the way forward and wash the back sack.
Yeah.
Man. Tim Strickler is right. You get that $30 bidet off of Amazon. That is a game changer. Yeah. I'm at the gym wiping myself. Everything's hard and rough. Metru says, what's the best way to shit like Niagara Falls? Plums. Plums. You add coffee, it's going to help anything. But yeah, plums. You can do Fiber One cereal. Add water. Tends to soften things up. I'm not talking water up your ass. I'm talking about being generally hydrated.
Yeah. Stay
away from cheese. Cheese hardens you up. We've been going for an hour.
Have we?
I mean, we can keep going. I don't have anything. I did my laundry yesterday. I don't have anything else to do today other than finish my section for my workload for next Monday. And then I'm going to fill 4 water jugs, old milk jugs, but they're water now. Take them to the pavilion, drop them off for the hikers. They're not showing up for like another hour still.
Well, how about that story about the guy that you found? The
homeless guy?
The homeless guy. Yeah.
Oh. Okay. So by the Wawa in Hamburg, like you guys know what I'm talking about. Everything's so PA centric.
Yeah, there's like 7 people.
Okay. Would Jordan Peterson drive a Toyota Avalon or Buick LaCrosse? That's a good question.
Probably the Avalon.
I'd say LaCrosse. When you said Impala, that sounds like another boring ass car he would drive. Relevant question. Josh says, get back to that homeless guy story. How do you deal with damp ass after using a bidet? I like the idea of a bidet, but not the idea of having a damp asshole after finishing. I keep a dehumidifier in my bathroom because my bathroom does not vent properly, because what you're looking at here used to be an attic. So after a shower at night, I turn that dehumidifier on, set the timer for 2 hours. It sucks all the moisture out of that room and also dries my towel in the process. So I can straddle this dehumidifier, and dry warm air is making everything cozy. Or I have a dedicated wipe rag after. Don't use the blue one in there that's sitting on the counter. Yeah. Okay. Okay, so you can go on Google Maps if you want and type in Hamburg, Pennsylvania, or actually just type in the Cabela's Hamburg and look at the map. There's it's intersection of Pennsylvania Route 61 and U.S. Interstate 78, or Wawa Hamburg.
Yeah.
And there's a traffic light right there. And there's a homeless kid, really, who's posted up there, and he's been there since like February. I started seeing him when we got back from New Zealand. And he doesn't bother anybody. He doesn't come up to your car. I haven't seen him. He never talked to me because I'm in and out of that traffic light all the time. I never see him approach any car. He just hangs out there by the street light with his sign, with his military style backpack. And recently I saw him at the St. John's Pavilion in Port Clinton, which is one of the stops along the Appalachian Trail. He was rooting through the hiker box, trying on clothes. A lot of hikers around this time start shedding their winter clothes because they don't need it. And I wanted to say, like, I noticed all the hiker food was gone. But it was a day in between. Someone else could have cleared it all out. He's a young kid. He has a soft Southern accent, like a very mild one. There isn't twang on the R's or the A's. Len thinks it could honestly be Southern Virginia or even Northern Virginia. My guess was West Virginia. Could anywhere around there. Her description is, that kind of sounds like a Southern but not Southern accent. You can tell it's Southern, but it's not Deep South. It's not even North Carolina, because after our trip, North Carolina and Southern Carolina are very specific. One Rorukan says hi. AWL Storm has something interesting. What are your thoughts on the transition to Easy Pass only and paperless on the PA Turnpike? Great, good. Get the frickin' Easy Pass. Stop holding up the show. Yeah, but they're gonna track you, and I got change. Maybe I want to talk to a human. You ever think of that? For Christ's sake, just get the pass. Just drive through. Anyway, good things. So I'm there sweeping up in the pavilion, and this homeless kid, like, looking at his face, when he smiled at me, he was also missing his either lateral, I think it's lateral incisor on, it would have been left side. Or right side. No, I'm looking at a camera. It would have been this side. He was missing either his lateral incisor or canine or both. I didn't get too close to him to check out his teeth, although I saw there was one of those. It's one of those two teeth he's missing. And when he smiled, I didn't see too many lines or wrinkles. So there's still some baby fat in his face, which puts him, mid-20s. And skinny kid, didn't say much. He did that sort of nice, like, tried to make nice normal talk. Someone left a spray bottle of Rain-X near the hiker box. You never know what some hikers carry.
Maybe to barter with someone. I don't know.
It may have been someone from town going, I know what hikers are. They get rained on. This gets rid of rain. This is for car windshields. It doesn't.
Yeah.
You can buy Never Wet now on Amazon. Do you remember those videos where they showed like mud and stuff just bouncing off people's clothes? Yeah, you can buy that stuff. It's like $15 a bottle. I may buy one just to see if it's. People said it works, but it only works for a little while, and then you got to spray it on again. Anyway, have you heard Tim Wilson's video on Southern accents? Yeah, that's a good one.
But what happened to the kid?
He was still, he sat, like, after he tried on clothes, he sort of just sat on the bench, and I'm taking my sweet time sweeping stuff that doesn't need to be swept. because I kind of wanted to see if he was leaving. I'd want to see which direction he walks. But he just sat on one of the benches there and didn't move. Like, he just sort of sat and stared at nothing. So, all right. I suppose if you live on your own like that, or live homeless, you get some sense of how to judge people really quick if they're about to make trouble for you, if you've been doing it for months or even years. And some people said he was living in the woods behind the Walmart. So honestly, I feel like going out there and see if there's like a little bivouac camp or something. No, I'm not gonna mess with him. He's not hurting anybody. He's not doing anything. Do I want to give him money? Well, people give us money.
Yeah.
It all depends. I'll talk to him more if he feels like talking. You never know what their story is. I mean, people. I got talking to Len about how, growing up, I fucked up a number of times, had to come back home, friends paid for things. And if it wasn't for that net and having a good home life, I could have been couch surfing or something like that a few times.
Yeah.
And if there's luck in anything, people said, "Oh, you're so lucky to have a YouTube channel that works." I mean, the real luck was having a good home life and a good family. That's the real luck, that you come out and you get that base, and not a lot of people have that. And some people, they don't have a good family, and then they don't have friends who can help them, and maybe they're living in an area that doesn't have charities or even churches that have the money to help the destitute.
Yeah.
So out they go with their wits and a sleeping bag and try to make a plan. And then you're getting malnourished, your brain isn't thinking right, or maybe the reason that you're in this mess is you had some mental problems that were compounded by a lousy home life, and here you are, man. William S. Burroughs said, "Never offer sympathy to the mentally ill. It's a bottomless pit." Which I guess he was really talking more about like dumb people or leeches in your life. Like, you can give them money, but it ain't gonna do anything.
Yeah. I mean, I think part of it is being truly fortunate means always being able to go home again. And so you have a kind of support system, and other people don't have it. And so it's like you said, not everywhere has the ability to shelter these people. And so they're going to make a go of it. And then, you do end up sort of, people will commit petty crimes or misdemeanors just so that they end up in the slammer, because at least there you have a bed, you're getting 3 square meals a day, and depending on the severity of your crime, you're not unhirable when you get out, although it does make getting hired way harder. But it's a sad state of affairs. And that's why I always feel like I do kind of give money, like not a lot. Like if I have a 10 spot on me, I'll just like, here you go. On the ones who aren't sort of bothering anybody, who aren't approaching cars, who aren't sort of being aggressive about it. The ones who kind of are just sort of there, keeping to themselves, not really minding anybody. And, maybe there's a grift involved, maybe there's not. But, I mean, I almost feel compelled to sort of do something in a weird sort of way. And it's, I was fortunate enough to sort of have something on me. And so, and what am I going to do with that money? Like, I'm going to, get like a tea or a beer or a glass of wine or something. And it's, that could be food for somebody. You don't have to necessarily, I don't know. It's when you have something on you, you can go without easier.
Yeah.
So
I thought about when I was in school, and I was living at 149 Main in Kutztown, and by the way, people in the chat, let me know if the frame rate picked back up and and the strength of the feed is good or so. We were watching it before, and I was living in this house during grad school with some undergrads, and there was this one kid who would show up from time to time, sometimes longer stays than others, and his name was Carrie. And when I complained about him, I called him Homeless Carrie, because he was. I think he was a student in Kutztown and dropped out. The story I got from one of the pothead roommates I was living with was he can't go home, or his parents hate him, or a combination of those two things. So he slept on the couch, slept on the floor, would go away for a few days, would come back. He could play the guitar, he could sing, and if you gave Carrie food, he would improvise a song about the food on the spot. So he had some skill, and he could repair guitars too. He had about a year to get a plan together, because the potheads were moving out, and they were graduating undergrad or who knows what. And or one kid was, oh wait, I know. There were 3 people living in the house. One was leaving, and I told the other pothead who was staying, look, I like living here, but we're very much different people. It's not going to work out in the long run, but everything's cool right now. Either you find 2 new people or I can find 2 new people. It's up to you. But I don't think this is going to last. In another, either I move out or you move out, and whoever's staying here has to find 2 people. So I kind of put the onus on him to do some work. Yeah. Like if I work out, I'm not going to find 2 new people to live here. You're going to do that. Yeah. Or I could stay here and you could find your own way, and I'll find 2 new people. And of course, what do you think happened? Yeah. He split, and I found Monet Anderson. Oops, sorry. She's a science teacher right now. Great science teacher. I found Monet Anderson, Tyler Grimm, which we reviewed as Toyota Tacoma. And later, when Monet graduated, in came Corey Walton. And then I reviewed her car, and I'm friends with all 3 of them. So anyway, it worked out. But Carrie, as the 2 potheads left, I started cleaning the house, and I was the only one living there. But Carrie was still there. And the couch had disappeared. And then the chairs disappeared. Like all of their stuff, the pothead stuff, all of my stuff was in my room. Yeah. I had nothing. The only thing that was out in the main room was my record player. And so there was like an empty room with just this console record player in the corner. Or I think I even brought that into my room at one point. Nah, I guess I didn't care. I think I bought that thing for $30. That thing might have stayed outside. Anywho, Carrie was still there lying on the floor. And I'm like, look, the lease is up soon, and there's going to be people moving in, and I got to start cleaning this place. Yeah. It's tomorrow I have to start cleaning this place. Okay. And then it's the day when I'm supposed to start cleaning. And it was tough to tell this kid who didn't have a home, you got to go. I got to get the shop back in here. I got to repaint. Yeah. I got to get the cigarette ash out of the carpet. Yeah. And, it's midday. And I said, I came back from class, or because I was taking summer. Oh, no, I'm sorry. Not that it matters to you, but I was working at the school. So I came back from work. When I was done, it's 3:00. Carrie's still here. And I looked at him like, okay, man. I was angry, but I'm like, I can't get angry at this kid. I got 30 pounds on him. The kid's like $120. Yeah. He's malnourished. He's skinny. But he's got to go. And I remember what I said to him. I said, I got to go upstairs and have a conversation. I walked up and talked to one of the guys who lived in one of the apartments upstairs about nothing. I just talked to him about something. It's like, look, if I stand here, I'm going to say something I regret at this kid, or I'm going to put hands on him. So I just walked upstairs, bullshitted with whoever lived upstairs for a little bit. I forget who. Came downstairs, he was gone. And his bag was gone. And that was... I think I saw him, like, briefly back. I think he had a pickup, like, he had, like, pens or something. Oh, no, wait. When I came back downstairs, there was a piece of paper on the middle of the living room floor, and all of his pens, like the guy drew like graffiti style art, all of his markers were in a circle as if they were pointing at and I'm talking about markers, I'm talking like 20 of them.
Yeah.
Pointing at this square that says, don't take stuff coming back, or don't take this pile of things, it's mine. Fine. Came back later, it was gone. I think I saw him getting into a car with some disheveled guy. And that was it. That was all I saw of homeless Carrie. I heard from someone else, and I think it may have been one of the potheads I ran into later on that year, and said, yeah, last time I heard he was in the park sleeping in the dugouts of the softball field. Right? And that was the last I heard of homeless Carrie. Nuka Cadola, thanks for $4.99. Here's a few bucks for the Fiber One Fund. Yeah, I haven't pooped yet. It's gonna happen, don't worry.
Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
That is, yeah.
Yeah. So that was kind of a weird bummer story about homeless Carrie. I want to leave on a high note. But it is what it is. I mean, when you talk about American realism, that's what it is.
Yeah. It's this reality of the streets and the people who live on them. You know, it's kind of, you can't shy away from the idea that there are people out there struggling. Not everything has a happy ending, no matter how much you want it to.
And the thing about American realism and early American modernism is none of it can be exaggerated. You can change names and stuff. That was the one difference between regular modernists and Mark Twain. Mark Twain clearly exaggerated.
Yeah.
And but, you know, Dreiser and Ham and Garland didn't. These were just regular stories that kind of didn't have a climax. This is a slice of life,
yeah,
in its full brutality, and in that is supposed to be beauty. David says, you guys have good hearts. Thanks.
Alex Jesser says, hey Roman, I would like to listen to more of your stuff too. I hope you guys don't mind me quoting you in my music. I mean, I don't care. It's
oh yeah, I don't know if this is a question. Oh, sorry, I'm off mic. I don't know if this is a question for, as I ask it, for the podcast. But Vince Tunnel Chaser, who had the Dodge Demon, he wanted to know if he could have a copy of your song.
Oh, sure, yeah. I mean, it's literally, I mean, all that exists of the song is what's in the video.
Right.
Yeah, you can just, well, you have the file, so you could just forward it to him, because you have his email address.
I think he wanted to put it in one of his videos.
I mean, that's fine by me.
Okay.
I mean, I don't need to, it's just, you know, what that
video our first day went by, we got our money.
Yeah. It is what it is. But yeah, it's just strange.
Shane says, are we visiting Toledo, Ohio, or Norwalk?
Norwalk.
Don't know where Norwalk is. No, as of now, the only travel plans we have is Chicago and maybe North Carolina. I like to stay for the heat of the summer. I like staying around here. I need to savor the summer.
Yeah.
I don't want to do all the things in immediate PA of like riding bikes and driving the Falcon and stuff before it becomes ass again.
The strange thing is we don't really get fall anymore. So summer just extends indefinitely and then it's winter. You get these Indian summers that it's September and it's still 79, 80 degrees. But still, it's just, I get that weird sensation too of wanting to like soak up the summer into my like bloodstream, just because it feels like you're fighting so hard to get to it throughout the year.
That's a good line.
Yeah,
that's a good line.
What's my favorite sex? Cowgirl. Let's go with that. It's fantastic. You can't go wrong with.
I touch my feet a lot. Yeah, I don't have a foot fetish. I mean that.
Yeah.
I just don't wear shoes in the summertime.
I'm always touching like. You ever like just stick your hands down your pants just to like hold it? Just like you're not doing anything with it. Like you're just like watching TV and you just have like your hand on it.
Like an Al Bundy.
Yeah. And just because, it's there and it's just, it's great. I don't know. It's just.
I think in my younger days, yeah, but that's when I was thrill jerking, like trying to get off during freshman orientation in college by going into a bathroom in the student union building, going for the thrill jerk. An hour and a half.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Roman, do Ween covers, please. I did, it's going to be all right for a video and I forget which one. And if I could remember the lyrics, I could probably remember the car, but I can't remember the lyrics.
Do I want to do a Chicago meetup or something? And one guy is asking Calabash, Chicago dates. The dates are tentative.
Yeah.
Can change, but as of now, week of 15th in July.
Yeah. It's the summer. So
which gives us over a month to plan.
Yeah. And hopefully the weather will be nice as opposed to the last time we were there, which was just kind of over.
Man, May's almost over already.
Yeah, that's insane.
I
mean, it's Labor Day weekend this week. Memorial Day weekend. Yeah.
This is when it starts speeding up.
Yeah.
Like May is Thursday. May is Thursday of the year. June is the Friday. Yeah. This is the way I felt about it. June is summer's Friday. July is summer's Saturday.
Yeah.
And then August feels like summer's Sunday.
Yeah.
Yeah, you still have the whole day off, but you got school tomorrow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And that thing of even when you're not in school anymore, it's like that anxiety of that old school anxiety that still goes around.
Because, we have this YouTube thing. I can do whatever I want. So September is just as warm as August, really. Just as warm as late August. You can still do stuff, but I feel sad because I got school, but I don't.
Yeah.
Which is why I do like that idea. You suggested Vegas, and I'm kind of thinking like trying to find out what the deal is with Hilton Grand Vacations. Like every now they try to send me, you're in Vegas for $15 a night or something like that. Just to do RCR Vegas like in the depth of winter. Just like fuck it, get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
Like I could see going on a trip to the Southwest US in March. Like it's the depression that sets in on the first day of spring, and it's fucking not.
Yeah.
That March, I thought it was supposed to be spring now, and it's winter.
Yeah.
Like, no, really have our spring break so we can leave and it can be warm.
Yeah.
And supposedly, like, Vegas is great in, like, March.
Yeah.
I'm not going to go to the Strip. I don't want to drive down the Strip. I don't want to be with all of these dads thinking that their youth lies at the bottom of a big fruity drink. Like, oh, if I pull this lever enough, that endorphin rush from my first boob feel is going to come back.
Yeah.
Oh, to be about all these freaking not neck tattoo dads. I'm thinking there are versions of dads, and I know some of them who are translucent with their adultery.
Ooh, that's a good line. Yeah.
Like they're eyeballing up the waitress at Ruby Tuesdays.
Yeah.
Like, and their kids like, you see that girl?
I mean,
and those are the people I suspect I'd see in Vegas.
Because what I think for those type of people, it's like, what other thrill remains? Because life has now gotten to a point where I'm taking the kids to Ruby Tuesdays. Like, what am I doing here? Well, you know, they don't have an adult puzzle on the back of the menu, so you know, eyeing up the waitresses is the maze on the back of the children's dinner menu.
For an adult,
for an
that's
adult.
the fun.
Yeah,
to like see how long you can just stare at her tits.
Yeah.
Twiggy says, I used to thrill jerk wearing an overnight heart monitor as a kid. Wait, what? Best part of the entire medical debacle was hoping some technician saw my heart rate spiking all night long and getting a good laugh. So why were you wearing a heart monitor? Some sort of heart condition?
Hopefully you're well.
Dallas Fort Worth is great in March too. I just want like nice warmness.
Yeah.
Like that nice 71 degrees, no humidity.
Yeah.
Light jacket or a sweater.
I don't even care necessarily what it's like where we're going, as long as it's not here in March.
Yeah.
Because here in March just sucks because it's just snow and you think you're over the hub and then it's late March and there's another one.
Yeah.
And you're just kind of, you just want it over with.
We all remember the first base boob peel.
Yeah.
And mine was trashy. I wish I didn't.
What's mine? I think I forgot.
Mine was saggy and wet like a gas station hamburger before. Soggy and wet like a Sunoco hamburger. Go on a cruise. I have no interest in cruising.
Yeah.
There's nothing for me to do. A drink. Oh.
Okay.
Cruises are like playgrounds for dads.
Yeah.
They lock you in, like the playground, like the 12 and under playground with the fence.
Yeah.
That has the two fences. You got to turn and then turn again, and they both have gates.
Yeah, for that you just go to.
Oh, you don't have to worry about anything. You go on the cruise, you're gonna be drinking Heinekens and Coronas. Then you know the pool tables, they move when the shit moves. We're gonna play 8-ball and 9-ball. Carnival Cruise.
Dieter says, I went to Vegas in the end of June, hotter than the surface of the sun. Go skydiving in Vegas. You can see the Hoover Dam, Lake Mead, the Strip, and the solar farms in California.
See
the Hoover Dam. Yeah, that's like the United States of hard pass.
Yeah.
Like, I'm just not about jumping out of a plane. I'm hardly about jumping out of a trampoline into a pool, much less out of a plane.
Well, I gotta pee again, and I think the poop's coming with it.
Yeah.